What's going on YouTube? Desmond here with Flip Finder Network, and I'm going to be doing some sourcing today for you. Still having a lot of newer people ask a ton of questions. It seems like some people are having some issues finding their first couple products. So I'm here at my favorite easy source, as I call it. This is Walgreens. If you are a beginner Amazon seller and you're having trouble finding products, you need to live here for the next couple weeks because it is just so easy to find stuff on this website. Now, Walgreens isn't going to be your forever home, but if you're looking for your first couple flips, this is the easiest place to find them. So I feel like I'm getting a little repetitive. I've made several videos on this stuff, but you could literally source this sale, I think, once a month, once every couple weeks, and consistently find new products. And if you hang out to the end, I've actually got a new tool to show you that's going to make this so much easier. It's going to make your sourcing a game changer. So let's get right into it. You know, if you've watched my videos, I live in this BOGO section. And also, we are stacking a extra 20% up here. If we spend 40, we know we're going to spend 40. That's easy to do. So we're also getting an extra 20% off on these products. So let's go ahead, and first thing I want to do is I only want to look at the BOGO free stuff. You can do this with the BOGO 50, but just to start with, we're going to stick with those really good deals. So we've done this before. Nothing's really changed. We've got a couple brands here, and you could absolutely come in here and manually look up every single one of these and cross-reference it back to Amazon, and you will find good stuff. But I like to make my life a little bit easier, and we got to use Keepa to do that. So we're going to pop open a new tab, head into the data section of Keepa and the product finder. And what we're going to do here is we are going to pick a brand. Nature Made is obviously in this sale. I think there's a couple of other ones that are probably in the sale as well. But what we're going to do, come over here to Keepa, scroll down to the brand section, and let's just type in Nature Made. So here we go, Nature Made, 1,650 products. I don't think Walgreens even has that many. So we got to narrow this list down a little bit. So now we start putting in some filters, and I'm only going to put in a few here. We want to get this list to a manageable size. And what I mean by that is, depending on how long you've got to source, ideally less than a couple hundred products, a list that you can actually go through one by one and go through everything on that list, because that's going to ensure that you're not leaving any meat on the table. So let's start narrowing these down. I'm going to start by putting a rank filter in, and let's just cap it. Since this is a little bit of a big list, let's try capping it at 100,000. We may have to come back in here and kind of edit these a little bit. Okay, yeah, so that got rid of a ton of stuff, which is great. All right, next filter we're going to do is buy box. Again, we might have to tweak these a little bit. That's one thing with Keepa, is there is no golden filter set. You're going to have to constantly tweak this stuff and see what works and what doesn't, and just take notes and keep in mind. I mean, stuff's constantly changing on Amazon. So let's start with a $20 buy box filter here. We may need to come in and change that a little bit. And then the next filter I'm going to do is a offer count drop filter. And basically this is saying we want to see products that the offer count is falling on. We want to see offer count going down. So let's start with the 30-day, and let's just do 25% drop. Okay, wow, that took out a lot. All right, we might need to either change this to 10, or we could do the 90-day drop, which might be a little better. Let's see what that looks like. So let's do 20% over to 90-day. 21 products. let's see if we can find anything out of that. And again, it's really important to remember, if I go through these 21 products and don't find anything, which I'm not going to do on this video, that would be way too long. But if I don't find anything, I'm not just going to leave, because I know there's stuff here that works. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to rework my filters until I get a different list. And that's really the key to this, is not giving up, because a lot of people, probably most unfortunately, are going to do that, and they're leaving tons of profitable products. You just got to figure out the best way to find them. So let's take a peek at this 21. We may come back in here and maybe filter it around a little bit different, because it looks like yeah, see, like, we're probably going to have to change this around. I see right off the bat Amazon is a buy box seller on a lot of these. There's a few that aren't, but this one's super, super cheap. I'm not sure why it even showed up in the search, because I thought we put a buy box filter on this, but maybe let's come back in here and make sure we did that right, because that doesn't look, yeah, buy box filter of 20. So I'm not sure why that one popped in there, but let's see, let's rework this. We'll bump our rank up to 150. And oh, here we go. That's why I put a buy box maximum of 20. That was my mistake. Let's do minimum. That'll probably make it much better. And we got 26 products, so we'll leave that sales rank at 150 now. And let's see what we got. All right, so this one's looking a little bit better. A little bit of Amazon in here too, and we can actually filter that out right here on this page and just select this third party and then hit apply, and that's going to take out all the products that Amazon was on. So let's hop into a couple of these, see if we can find some stuff profitably and see where it goes. So the best way I have found best way I've found to find these products, quickest way at least, is to just come in and Google it. And 9 times out of 10, if that product is at Walgreens, it's going to pop up. You can see here we've got Nature Made D3 1000 IU 180 pack. It's already right here. You could copy and paste this back to Walgreens. It just seems a lot faster to me to just Google it. Most of the time, if Walgreens has it, it's going to show up in that Google search. So we're at $18.99, 180 pack. Make sure this is a complete match. A little bit of a package change here. I don't worry about things like that, but it is super important that you make sure the ingredients match. You want to make sure that the pills themselves, or whatever's inside, hasn't changed with the package change. And unfortunately on this one, looks like we're not going to be able to do that with the picture, but a lot of times you can come down and look at the details. Unfortunately, this is a really bad listing, so we're not going to be able to do that here, but let's just see, out of curiosity, would it have been profitable? My guess is going to be no. This is a 3-pack at 26 bucks, but you never know. Yeah, we're at $18.99, even with the BOGO here. So we're taking 50% discount, and we're stacking that extra 20. We're at $7.59. Put that in a 3-pack. Definitely not profitable. Not a big deal. Don't get hung up on stuff that's not profitable. Just keep moving through the list. That's the key here. Is we've got to keep moving through this list, because there will be something on this list that's profitable. So same thing here. Vitamin D3. This is 2,000 IU and a 220 pack. So same thing. Pop that open right here on Google Walgreens lead. See if we can make this one work. 220 pack, 2,000 IU. We're at $24.99 here. Again, probably going to be a little too tight, even with that 50%. Stacking the 20, we're at $9.99 in a 2-pack. Just barely breaking even here at the $29.99 sales price. So again, not a big deal. I'm not getting hung up on it. Keep scrolling through the list. I'm going to move myself a little bit here so I can actually see these charts. And over time, you will get to a point where you can actually look at the little chart, if you see popping up right below me here. And a lot of times you can actually find stuff that might be a little easier to be profitable. And what I mean by that is, like these two charts that we just looked at, you can see the buy box line, which is that pink line. It's really flat. There's not a lot of movement there. Typically speaking, uh, that means that there's either not a lot of buy box rotation, which isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes there are products that may only have one or two sellers, and the buy box isn't rotating because of that reason. But something like this, we can see there's probably several people on this listing, but the buy box is pretty flat. So 9 times out of 10, in my experience at least, especially with this stuff, that's going to be one that's probably going to skip. But something like this, you can see even though Amazon was on this, a lot more buy box rotation here. So stuff like that just tends to be a little better for profitability in my experience. A little kind of just something I've picked up on looking through thousands and thousands of these, and that's really what you got to do. So if you're just starting out and you're having trouble, keep looking. You got to spend time doing this stuff. Let's see if we can find this calcium here. 600 milligrams, 120 count. Looks like we're in a 3-pack. We're at $16.99. Might be a little bit closer here, but I still don't think we're going to quite make what we need. Get that 50% discount, stack into 20, and we are in a 3-pack here. All right, we might have our first win. So we're at 2037 here, and let's just double check. Calcium with D3, 120 pack, 600 milligrams. So calcium, 600 milligrams, 120 pack with vitamin D, 400 IUs. I'm not totally sure if that's the same. Maybe. Okay, yeah, here we go. So with vitamin D3. So picture is probably a little off. This looks like the old packaging, but we are at $16.99 here. Double check that math. $16.99 multiply by 0.5. That's going to be our buy one get one free. And we're also stacking that 20% code, so we're multiplying by 0.8 here. That takes us to $6.79. Multiply that by 3 because we are in a 3-pack. We're at 2037. Even with Walgreens, you're paying sales tax. So let's say it's 6%. And even paying sales tax here, we're at 21.59. Sale price of $44.99. Let's double check that with the Keepa chart. But right off the bat, we're looking at about an $8.50 profit, almost 40% ROI. Killer first product. But we haven't seen enough yet to make this a buy. So we want to look at a couple things. So one of the things I noticed about this particular listing is it is a variation. So we want to do two things here. We want to make sure that price is nice and stable at the price that we want it to be. And we want to check and make sure that this is actually a good selling variation. Now I can just see from this Keepa chart, this variation definitely sells. We can see our offer count has been falling steady for the last 90 days. That's usually a really good indication that this product is selling. So is it selling at the price that we want it to? And this one is kind of a little harder to tell on that because the buy box does move around a lot. It comes down a good bit, and actually looks like even Amazon was selling it for 17, 18 bucks just a couple of days ago, actually. So that one makes it kind of tough, but we can see historically over the last 90 days, it has spent most of its time in the upper 30s and sometimes in the low 40s. And another thing we can do here is if we come into data and buy box statistics, we can see that average price. So yes, Amazon has been getting a mass majority of the buy box on this, but you've got to think this is a very good selling product. It's a good rank, 1K. Estimated sales 300 plus a month. Now that's probably going to be split between multiple variations, but Amazon might be taking 52% of that buy box, but that leaves almost 50% for a third party seller. And you can see multiple ones here have been getting it. But something I noticed is they're all getting it around the $39, $40 mark. So even though SellerAmp has auto-filled me at $44.99, it looks like we've got a lot of people under that. So what we want to do here is probably stick to that FBA offer there, assuming you're sending this product in FBA. So sale price of 40.88. Now we're not quite as good as we want to be. We're at a $5 profit, which is great. ROI is a little lower than I'd like to be. So a couple things we can do here. Um, Number one, I would definitely recommend saving something like this. If you find a product like this, it's profitable, it's not profitable enough, or maybe it's just not quite where you want it to be, don't get rid of that stuff. You've already taken the time to do the work. Save it. Put it on a sheet. I got several. I call this one a look back. So I want to look back at this in the future. Maybe next time this brand is on sale, I want to look at that listing again and see, well, has the price came up? Has the price gone down? That kind of thing. We can also back out in our Keepa chart here and see, looks like last year, a lot of the time Amazon was coming in really, really low. So that would be kind of something to keep an eye on a product like this. And that doesn't necessarily mean the same thing's going to happen this year, but that would just be something that you need to test really, really small. So don't go buy 20 units of this, buy 5, buy 3, just buy a few and test it and see, because a really famous quote, a lot of times you hear it in sports, and the quote is, you don't play the game on paper. And I think a lot of people need to realize that more in the Amazon world. I can sit here and analyze this Keepa chart for the next hour, but at the end of the day, you don't play the game on paper. You don't play Amazon on a computer screen. You got to get your data will be the best data you will ever have. And the only way to get that is to test products. So test small, go really, really wide, right? Buy 100 different products at 3 to 5 units, right? Instead of buying 2 products at 50 units, especially when you're starting out. Get your own data. But something like this, like I said, I probably wouldn't buy this right now. I'd stick it on a look back sheet, come back to it in a couple weeks, in a month, next time you see the sale, and check it again and see what happens. Or if you're okay with that 23% ROI, that's a little low for me. Profit's actually pretty good. Another thing you could do on a listing like this is possibly merchant fulfill, right? You might get a little bit better numbers. This is a 3-pack, but they're pretty small. I could see you probably getting away with $6 to $7 shipping on this. So let's say we had $6.50 shipping. Now our profits just under $7, but it's at that 30% ROI. So there's tons of things you can do on products like this to make them profitable. And that's also super important to remember, is a lot of really good leads on Amazon aren't profitable right out. You have to make them profitable, and there's other ways to do that, and I'll show you here in a second. Another really good point talking about merchant fulfilling, I haven't really talked about this tool much, but I use it on a daily basis, and it's actually one of the cheapest Amazon tools that I have, I think. This is called RevSeller. It's this little box here. I think it's like $100 a year or something. I'll stick the link in the description of this video if you want to try it out. But what I use it for mostly, and it has the profit calculators. They're actually adding a lot of new stuff recently to where you can link it to your sheets just like SellerAmp. So if you're just starting out and you don't want to drop I think it's like $280 a year on SellerAmp, give RevSeller a test, because it has most of the same things that SellerAmp actually has. But what I really like using it for is merchant fulfill. And if we put in our cost here, so let's $21.59 here, it's going to give us our profit. But what it does is it estimates our shipping. So if you're new to the game, or maybe haven't done a lot of merchant fulfilled shipping and you don't know, how much you can ship products for, RevSeller is the answer to that problem, because what you can do is you can come in, and I leave mine set to zone 5. If you're not familiar with the USPS zones, basically there's 8 zones. Zone 1 is going to be closest to you. Zone 8 is going to be the farthest possible away from you. And I think that's all in the continental United States. That's not including, Alaska or Hawaii, anything like that. I leave mine on zone 5. That's a distance where Some of the orders I'm going to get are probably going to be a little cheaper than that, but it's also not as expensive as it could be. Because if you set this to zone 8, obviously our cost is going to go up, and you might get a order or two in zone 8 and have to eat a little bit of the shipping, but a lot of your orders are going to be a little bit closer than that just because of the way the Amazon buy box works. So, the end customer, Amazon's going to put somebody in the buy box. Typically that's not super, super far away. Now, obviously there's exceptions to every rule, but anyways, you can see on this, it's giving me a 716 estimated shipping cost here, which, I said 6 to 7, so maybe we can bump that up just a hair. Let's bump it up to 7. So we're getting a little tight again now. Still $6 profit, almost 30% ROI. Again, this might be a look back product, but if you haven't tried Seller or RevSeller and you don't have SellerAmp especially, definitely give it a look. Like I said, I'll put the link in the description of this video. It's actually a really, really cool tool, and it has almost everything that SellerAmp has. So anyways, back to how do we make this more profitable? So we've talked about merchant fulfilling. That's an option. We talked about, sticking it on a look back sheet, waiting for the price to come up. But is there anything else we can do to make this more profitable? And the answer to that is absolutely. I know a couple of things, especially gift cards. I've talked about this a couple of times. Cardbear is a really good place to look for gift cards. It's basically going to give you all of the different gift card markets. So let's type in Walgreens here, and we can see, looks like we can get almost 8% from Card Cash here. So if we calculate that into our buy costs, and also what I really like about Cardbear, just before I do this, it actually gives you the average discount. So it looks like on average we're getting almost a little over 13% here, and it's actually advising us to wait, right? Which we can't always do in the arbitrage world, because we got to shop the sale while it's happening. But that just lets me know that people are buying these gift cards, and we can usually get a little bit more than we're getting right now. But even at that 8% discount, we came back in here to our cost, and let's multiply that by, let's see, it would be 0.92. All right, now we're at 1986. Now we're back into that profitable zone. We're making almost $8 again. We're making 40%, and that's at our 4088 price, which was our lowest FBA aside from Amazon. So there's tons of things like that that you can do to make products profitable, and the gift cards are really, really good way to do that, and they're almost as guaranteed as you can get, right? A lot of people I've heard calculate like cash back into their buy cost. I would not recommend that. I've had too many times where I thought I was going to get cash back and something happened and I didn't. So I would definitely not calculate that into your buy cost. But the gift cards, 100%, and that's a really good way to make a profitable product like this. Something that's really close, but not quite there. So I'm going to call that our first win. I know we're a little deep into this. I've been talking too much, but I'm going to call out our first win with the gift card. So let's go back to our search, and we'll peek at a few more products, and then I really want to show you this new tool because it's going to make your Amazon life so much easier. It is a game changer. I promise you're going to want to have it. So let's get out of these, and let's go a couple more down here. Let's just cherry pick a couple that might actually work. See, this one looks good. Price is going up. Let's open up maybe one or two more. That one looks like a possibility. Let's just go through these two, and then I'll get to this little secret tool over here. So start with this first one here. Let's just Google it. We are looking for prenatal multi DHA 200. Walmart. So let's see. This might be it. Are we looking for a 60 pack? No, we're looking for a 150 pack. So we may be out of luck on Walgreens for that particular one, because 9 times out of 10, if Walgreens has it, it's going to pop up pretty close right here at the top. So let's maybe skip out of that one. Let's try this one here. Looks like I've looked at this one before, which doesn't surprise me. I think it's going to be this one here. We have got vitamin C 500 milligrams in a 60 pack. Vitamin C 500 in a 60 pack. Looks like it wasn't profitable the last time I looked at it. Let's see if anything's changed. So we're $15.99 here. Getting that buy one, get one. Stacking that 20%. We're at $6.40 in a 4-pack, $25.60. So the profitability has gone up since the last time I looked at this. Let's see. Let's just make this as real as possible here, and let's do our sales tax of 6% because we're definitely paying that at Walgreens. Okay, that's where it comes on. But we're also getting that gift card, which is saving us, what was it, 8%, I think. So again, another really good, almost there product. I would definitely put this on a look back sheet. It's had times where price has been a little bit higher, even up to, it was like 50, maybe 55, 60, $70 buy box there at one point. So definitely a lot of last year, it looks like it spent in the low 50s. So, if we brought this back up even to just 50 even, we've got some really good profit on the table. So another thing you can do when you find stuff like this where, it spent a lot of profitable time last year, but it's not quite where it needs to be right now. Something you should do is we're going to come into Keepa and we're going to track this product. So basically Keepa is going to keep an eye on this product for us. And when it hits that threshold that we want it to be at, it's going to send us an email so we can know, hey, you need to start looking at buying this product. So let's say, where do we need to be here? Obviously we want to be 50 plus, but we want to catch this when it's headed that direction. We don't want to wait until it gets to 50. We want to catch it on the way there. That way we have time to order this product and get it into Amazon. So I would think probably something maybe 47-ish. Yeah, so like right there below the threshold. So what I'm going to do is change this buy box to 47. And super important here, I've messed this up a couple times myself going too fast. Make sure you change this to or more, right? We want to see that buy box at 47 or more because it defaults to less. So don't forget that. That's really important or you'll be getting an email every day. And then the only thing we have to do here is scroll down and hit start tracking. We can track it for a couple weeks on up to 10 years. Keepa's not ever going to let you forget about this product. So really cool thing with Keepa there. If you don't already have Keepa, you're way behind the game. You got to have it. I'll stick the link to that one in the description too, but I would assume most people watching this probably already have Keepa. I would hope. So another really good product. Not quite there. Again, put it on a look back sheet. And now that we're almost 30 minutes in, so I'll start wrapping this up. But I want to show you this new tool, and that's going to make doing stuff like this so much easier. Now I can't show you too much because this tool is actually not available to the public yet. It's been, I think, about almost 2 years in the making, maybe a little longer, and I've been part of the beta testing program, and it's set to launch, I think, in a couple weeks. So I will definitely keep you updated on that, but you're going to want to try it out because it's super cool. So this is called Astro, and this is a tool. You don't even have to link your Amazon account to this tool. So this is just a filtering tool, but what it allows you to do is upload information like ASINs and cost price and things like that. And it stores it for you and it keeps a track on everything. So basically what you can do with this is you can upload, and I've done a master list. This tool's actually geared towards wholesalers, but I can see a ton of potential here for like OA arbitrage sellers as well. You can set this up to where you can split it between your sources or suppliers. But what I've done here is created a master list, and this is just a ton of Walmart leads from a scan, just to using as an example. But what it allows you to do is come in and look at leads that you've looked at in the past and filter them down really quickly, and it's very visual. It makes things so easy. So what basically my idea here is you could come in, source this Walgreens sale, find a bunch of products that aren't quite profitable enough, and upload them into Astro. And next time the sale's happening, all you have to do, instead of sourcing again, excuse me, all you have to do is come back into Astro and throw some filters on it, and it's going to show you what products are profitable now. You don't have to do any research. So super cool stuff here, and I'll give you a little example. So we've got, I think, a couple hundred, 257 products here, and I love the color shading where you can instantly see what you want to look at. So we can see, is Amazon present on these listings? Obviously the 0% is good, and I think you can set up at what point it shades certain colors. We've got our sales rank, and we can see what products, and this probably needs to be, I haven't tweaked it yet to really be like I want it. So something like this, I would probably say anything under about 150-ish thousand would probably be green for me, or at least 100,000 would probably be green, and something maybe 100 to 150 yellow, and then anything over that red. So you can change these filters around to where it shades how you want to, but it's giving me a profit margin, ROI, and it gives it an Astro score, which is basically Astro's way of saying, we think this is a good opportunity. So really cool stuff here. But basically, what you could do is upload everything from your Walgreens sourcing and slap a couple filters on it. Let's say I wanted to see products that were only 30% ROI or better. So I would just come in here and do more than 30. And let's say I wanted to see products that my profit was only going to be at least $4 or better. So we can scroll, and there's tons of options here. You can filter almost anything. So profit, we're going to go more than $4. Apply filters, and now instead of looking at 257 products, we've narrowed that list all the way down to 5, and that's just going to make your sourcing so much easier in the future. This is a really game changer for the OA world, even though this tool is geared towards wholesalers. It lets you do the work one time, and you don't have to do a lot of work after that. So really super cool tool. And like I said, it's not available yet, but it is set to launch pretty soon. So I will keep everybody updated on that. And I'm a little bit over my time limit here, so I'm going to pop off of this. But thank you for watching. If you do not already subscribe, please do that. Give us a like. Throw some comments in. If you're not in the Flip Finder Network Discord channel, I will put the link to that in the description as well. You're going to want to join. There's a lot of stuff getting passed around over there that doesn't make it to YouTube. I'm starting to post videos over there and sales and things that just are just a little too good for the public. So you want to join up. There's already a handful of people over there, and we'll see you on the next one.